what this really is about then. Long I wished a collaborator in this. It's actually about how to live I could drop dead at any minute from a stroke or a heart attack. Unlikely. I do a lot of walking. But it's how to live really, really well past 50. It's actually what it's about. It wasn't the plan. Now, what does that mean? That means it means having purpose, which of course every self-help life coach, Mariella Frostrup article ever has thrown out at you all. But there's only one kind of purpose, and that's authentically, gently, truth to power. And of course, serving our fellow humans. In spite of the fact I don't actually want to, because I like walking the hills, I like being with children. I used to have a zoo for my daughter. Mainly rescue creatures. I've diverted a lot of myself in the last 20 years into causes for people that have genuinely benefited people. But I give up. Give up. I'm sounding like a bit of a prat, but this is all just stage one. I give up. Accept the one thing, the gift, the true gift that I've lived day in and out so often. Oh, I have periods of a week or two where I have nothing to do with the world, no thought of causes, no thought of authentic good works. But the thing that I've discovered, and it's almost entirely counter what is the message you hear from the wellness life coach brigade, is that for periods, you push yourself right up to the limit, by which I do not mean playing tom-toms or gluing yourself to vehicles in London. I don't mean that. There's a place for that. But it has to be backed up by hundreds, thousands of hours of looking for allies. That's the first thing, which is almost impossible now. Permanent allies or long-term. You can't do anything without allies. And then saying authoritative, not educated, clever, authoritative things around and about you about what we're going to do. So yeah, for periods I've thrown myself into that. Don't want to. It's not fun. I learn things that I keep note of for a chronicle. I learn truths of our society. Don't believe anything you read on Facebook, here on Radio 4 about activism, solidarity, change. It's all self-serving to make the speaker look good. I give up. So I don't need to make myself look good. However, I was going to say inconsequentially, no, wrong word. Purely as a side effect, or rather a silver lining. Silver lining, yeah. The ultimate. It's the ultimate silver lining. I've discovered that it keeps you very much alive, much healthier, and your mind develops real stuff, not fake knowledge, real knowledge. how to deal with people if you know that they're two-faced, how to find a solution. It's almost impossible, don't get me wrong. That's the problem, that's the schism. But it just occasionally is possible to find peaceful affinity that is healthy, very occasionally, with others. But that is the key. I know, it's the absolute key. I think the worst phrase ever invented that's been more and more rolled out the last decade, positive mental attitude. No, it's not positive mental attitude. There's plenty of science that says that actually the pessimist, nasty word, wrong word, let's just use the correct word, the realist lives longer and healthier. There is actual real science. It's very, very difficult, that kind of science, but there's real science that suggests that's a pattern. I mean, may or may not be the case, but what I do know, for most of the time the last decade, I've felt being unimaginably healthier, more energized, totally constant than I could imagine. Passing through early 50s, it's just extraordinary. It's simply extraordinary. And I know what the key is. I've had some terrible emotional attacks innocently. I know what the key is. It's genuinely being engaged, putting not your power, putting your guile, your soul, your spirit into causes or attempted nudging, some change. And even though everything fails, it's not a smugness that you've done it. It's, it tweaked my life force such that my life force pushes along no matter what. It, from now on, pushes along into nothing. But without a doubt, that alone is the key to retaining youthful energy. Without a doubt. I've lived in different modes. I've lived in the mode of shut down, just healthy walking, just healthy living. Now, having this extra dimension of attempting to serve the wider society by healthy, useful stuff, which I'll come to later, that's the key. Even if it fails, doesn't matter. The key is actually it's not selfish, because it's of course it's a dual purpose thing, but it's the only key I know. So there we go. So look, it looks like I'm acting. I'm not. I'm just in a hurry, and I want to do a much better version of all of this a bit later this year. There we go, and I'd like somebody to be a collaborator with me.